a couple of videos on past lives or presentations on past lives, really. And past lives are lives that we lived before this one. There are different schools of thought. One of the schools of thought is that past life kind of, because time is something that we manufacture, and we see that the past is before our time. So we look at history and we say, well, we could have historically existed on Earth at a certain time. We don't really know how the world works and how time works, because we've kind of constructed something that makes sense to us. We don't really know how things exist, so because we are not creators of the universe, fortunately. Otherwise, it would probably fall apart at some point. The big thing is that past lives are something that we associate that we have had before. So if you don't believe in reincarnation, well, this is kind of a sobering kind of thought. So just understand that a lot of people have different realities to this one that they were connected to, and that isn't really that relevant to their life right now, but it can tell you something about them. One of the things that I find most helpful is when you look at someone's past life. Sometimes lessons from the past lives actually is brought into this life, and those lessons are actually then processed and learned from. And it's nice to just get that perspective of, okay, well, how is that different? Why do we have this experience now? For instance, some people have very difficult emotional times, but they are really fine financially. So they don't have financial struggles in this life, but they have a lot of emotional struggles or relationship struggles. And the thing is that they've grown past that point of needing that difficult financial time. So I think it's not always a good idea to look at other people's lives and cast judgment on it and say, from your perspective of what you're living, saying whether they are living the best life or not. People can live amazing lives, regardless of the situation. I think that if you even listen to stories from Holocausts and so on, that some of those people had amazing experiences with other people. They learned some incredible lessons. Like for instance, one of the lessons was that when you help someone else, when you stop focusing on yourself and you put your perspective on someone else and you help someone else, you can actually survive a lot better. And I think this is one of the things that right now we pulled apart into our little boxes, and really helping other people is something that connects us to others and makes us more living our lives more profoundly. My friend was saying that if you want to survive a flood or earthquake or something, go and help something. Even if you help a little animal, if you get a little puppy and you rescue the puppy, because you're focusing so much on the welfare of something else, you don't really focus so much on your own suffering and your own problems, and then you can get through things a lot quicker. Okay, so for this reason, there are codependent relationships. So not going to go into those, thankfully. But the point of this is really that you can focus your attention on, okay, well, why is this life in this way? And one of the things you can do is put to bed certain factors of, oh, I have this guilt about I have a lot of money, and I have this guilt about a lot of money, and you can look at a past life and say, well, I suffered in a previous life financially or monetarily, and now this is not my challenge in this life, and I need to focus more on this aspect, and this brings you back to the present. It brings you back into your life now and focuses you on what's really important for you to live now. So past lives really help with that. It helps with kind of putting certain things into perspective with you. If some people have dreams where they connect to different times. I've had those dreams. My daughter have those dreams or had those dreams before. And this kind of connects us to a different time and a different place. Like, for some reason, I just absolutely love 50s music. And when people, I've watched Pleasantville a bunch of times, and just the way people speak and so on is so familiar to me, and so incredibly great to me that it's something that I really enjoy. I love 50s dresses. Not wearing them myself, but if somebody else wears them, of course, like but those sort of styles, those old type things, the cars from that time. Um, so so this I really feel is a connection to probably a past life, and this is something that is then feels really familiar and feels really comfortable to me. So I don't really ask a lot of questions about it. I enjoy then the things from that time, but doesn't mean I stop living my life now and indulge in the things that are here currently. So I don't go and try and live in the 50s because that's done, but I do appreciate that time, and it's a nice kind of a nostalgic feeling to connect to that sometimes. Okay, so we also have to understand that people could have past lives that are very different from this one. I find in readings that if you connect to someone that has some difficulties in this life, they don't really connect with people well, they don't really feel like they fit in a lot. A lot of those people, when you look into the past lives, you'd see that they would come from different planets. So, does life on different planets exist? Yes. So, this is something that we can kind of see when we do this kind of work, and it is nice to then understand that that's a possibility. And when you see something from that time, yeah, you can then connect. We have these different times that we lived, different locations we lived, and we can also have different locations that is not, from this particular physical place. Somebody could have been a different species or on a different planet before this one, and it could make sense that there's like a very different experience that they have with this world from previous worlds, and there could be some kind of a karmic carryover that is then still imprinted in them. I'm going to go through this a little bit more, but for now, it's just good to know that this is a possibility that we could have people. You could have past life in different time, at different locations, at different countries, different worlds. At the time could be any time from the inception of things. I don't really. I'm not going to fathom a guess when that is or so. I'm not going to go scientist on this. It's not the point. The point is that people do have these past lives, and we'll go into how to then access that and so on. For now, it's just a good thing to understand that this is a possibility and it can come up in readings. People can ask about this to be read, and it is something that is very interesting to explore. So it gives us a nice idea about what happened in previous lives, and how that kind of carried over. I have someone that I know that has a really interesting backstory where it came all the way from slavery to almost royalty, and now there's this kind of a royal feel to this person, and I find that this is like really charming in many ways, because it explains a lot of the situations that are happening now, and they kind of make sense in the current life, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you have to live this life now. The other thing that we've just got to quickly understand about this is that some people can follow you around from previous lives. A lot of people talk about twin flames and soulmates and all these sort of things. I'm not really going to go into it, but there could be people from previous lives that are together with you in this life.